Every night, at exactly midnight, the old church bell rang just once. This was strange, because no one had pulled that rope for 20 years. The church itself was a forgotten relic, its heavy wooden doors sealed shut, its stone tower scarred with cracks from age. But like clockwork, the bell rang, never a second early, never a second late. Rohan, the new schoolteacher, moved into the village and heard it on his very first night. The solitary echoing chime sent a shiver down his spine. The next day he asked some of the locals about it. A hush fell over them. Their faces became guarded, their eyes avoiding his. Finally, one old man, his voice a dry whisper, said, "It rings for those who are remembered." This cryptic answer only fueled Rohan's curiosity. What did it mean? Remembered for what? From then on, he started a nightly ritual, watching the church tower from his bedroom window. The bell rang faithfully, whether rain lashed down or a fierce storm raged. It was a constant, unsettling presence in the village's quiet life. One night, unable to contain his intrigue any longer, Rohan decided he had to see it for himself. He pulled on his coat and walked through the silent streets towards the old church. As he approached, the air grew colder. He reached the massive doors and pushed. They were locked solid, just as he'd expected. He stood there, holding his breath, as the clock in the distant town hall began to strike 12. And then it came the deep, resonant clang of the bell, vibrating right through the stone beneath his feet. He circled the building, searching for any way in. He found a small, grimy window low on the wall, its glass cracked. Peering through, his eyes adjusted to the darkness inside. The moonlight filtering through the broken stained glass revealed a strange sight. The dusty interior was lined with old framed photographs, dozens of them, showing the faces of villagers from generations past, all long gone. Beneath each portrait, a date was inscribed. As his gaze traveled along the wall, he noticed something that made his heart pound. At the very end of the long line of photos, there was a new, empty frame. It was just hanging there, waiting. The next morning, a somber mood hung over the village. Rohan learned that the old man who had spoken to him, the one who said the bell rings for the remembered, had passed away peacefully in his sleep. The time of his death? Exactly midnight. A chilling realization began to dawn on Rohan. That night, he felt an irresistible pull back to the church. He had to know. He returned to the cracked window, his hands trembling as he wiped away some of the grime. He peered inside again. The empty frame was no longer empty. His breath caught in his throat. A photograph now filled it. The face staring back at him was his own. But it wasn't the face he saw in the mirror each morning. This version of him was older, his eyes tired and haunted, etched with a deep, weary sadness. And below the portrait, a single word was written, "Tonight." Just then, the clock struck midnight. The bell rang out, its single, solemn toll echoing through the night. And in that moment, Rohan finally understood. The bell wasn't an omen of death. It didn't announce that someone was gone. It was a call to remembrance, a reminder to cherish life and the people in it before it was too late. It rang not for the end, but for the now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. See you next time.